Okay, so it's being recorded now. So the first question, let's take a look at it. From this image to this, what's the difference, right? What changes? You add this block here, and we add this block here, right? Those two. From here to here, what happens? You add here and here, two, and then in this quadrant, right? From here to here, what happens? Two, and then in the left quadrant here. So if you were to kind of like verbalize or like put it into like it kind of explain what's going on in each image, basically you're adding two squares in a quadrant. Oops, my pen's way too big. Let me just rub that out. So basically you're adding two squares in each clockwise quadrant. Now, is there anyone who doesn't understand what any of these words mean? Squares, clockwise, quadrant.
What does quadrant mean?
Yeah.
So you know how when you played, you guys played Foursquare, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so in Foursquare, what's a quadrant? Imagine this is a Foursquare court. This is where the king is, right? Queen. And then what's this position called?
Jack.
Jack.
Oh, is it Jack in Foursquare?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's dungeon.
And then dance.
Thumbs with a T.
D-U-N-G, like dungeon.
Oh, okay, yeah. So do you see how these are like four quadrants? So this is quadrant one, this is quadrant two, this will be quadrant three, and this will be quadrant four. So quadrant is basically like, you know, four pieces basically.
Just like a quarter.
Yeah, like a quarter, right? Q-U-A-D, quad means four. It's a Latin word for four. So if you look at the question, every time they add two squares to each of the quadrant, right? Adds two here, then it adds two here. Oops, I'll use my laser pointer. Adds two here, then it adds two here, then it goes to this quadrant, adds two here, and as this quadrant adds two here. Now this final image, it's all filled in. So can anyone suggest me what could happen next? Just put your hands up in the using the Zoom function where you can put your hand up. Okay, let's see. Let me see. Josna.
It could go back to the start.
Yeah, it could go back to the first quadrant, right? And then what happens? It could fill in these two quadrants, right? So first it did filled in these two squares, then these two, then these two, then these two. So each time it's adding two squares in each clockwise quadrant. So if you continue that pattern, it goes back to this quadrant, and then it'll fill in this two squares. Does everyone have a different idea?
Melvin?
Yep.
Wouldn't it be like the same as the first square?
Sorry, same back to here again.
Yeah.
But it's already filled in, right? So maybe you could argue that they remove it. Maybe this goes white, this goes blank, but it seems weird that it might just delete itself, right? But that's a possible solution, right? That's a possible solution. Oh, by the way, just to clarify, right? I'm sure most of you noticed that we have no multiple choice in any of these general ability questions. The main reasoning is I really want you guys to like think about your answers and actually come up with your own solution rather than just guessing. Because I've been going through all your booklets, right? And we've been uploading all the answers. And one of the things I've noticed was that a lot of you are guessing a lot of the questions, right? And even from the Microsoft quizzes, I've noticed that a lot of you are guessing. So this is just to prevent you from guessing and just to actually think about your answers, okay? And it'll just be really interesting to see the different answers. So yeah, that's a possible answer where it would just be adding on two more. Does anyone have any other ideas?
What if the teacher has a different solution to you? Would you still mark that as a correct or wrong?
What do you mean by that, Navazish?
What I mean is that if your if the teacher has what you just did, the two things,
Mhm.
then does that mean that we would get it wrong if we had like a different solution?
Yes, obviously, yeah. Unless you really argue for your solution, and then we'll see if it's logical. And then if it is, then we might give it to you. We might change your mind. Okay. So for this question, the answer should look like this. Fill this in, fill this in, fill this in, fill this in, this, 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 this. So it should look like something like that. Okay. Now we're not looking for perfect drawings. So don't worry too much about if your drawing's not that great, but that's the way it works. Did anyone here get this answer? Okay. No worries. Okay, next question, right? Let's look at what happens. By the way, I want you to like really, the main thing I want you to focus on right now is not the answers itself, right? Don't worry too much about the answer that I come up with. Think about the process, right? Oh, someone said they got that. Josna, you got this, and same as Pav. Pav, did you get this answer as well?
Wait, no, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Pav, you did?
Yes.
Oh, good man, Pav. Good on you. Okay, now what I want you to do is think about the process, right? So step by step. What the first thing I would do in generability is look at what happens image by image, right? So in other questions, right? For example, maybe a question like this question here, or a question like, now, none of these questions you can do mapping, but basically, for most of the other questions, you just have to look at what happens step by step, right? So from the first image to the next image, what changes? So from A to D, what changes? First of all, this is a lowercase and this is a higher case letter, right? So lowercase, uppercase. From D to K, what happens? Lowercase. K to U, I'm sorry, K to H, uppercase, right? So that's one thing that we noticed. So the next letter, should it be uppercase or lowercase?
Lowercase.
Perfect. Now let's take a look at the letters. From A to D, just looking at it straight away, right? Usually with letters, the first thing I would, okay, Kanchi, Dave, you don't understand the first question. Okay, so I'll quickly go through that first question again. So Kanchi, from the first image, so from this to this next image, Kanchi, I want you to unmute yourself, right? Because we're gonna work through this together. So Kanchi, from this first image to the second image, what changes?
Two numbers, two squares.
Yeah, 2 squares, right? So we add a, oops, that's way too much. We add a square here and we add a square here, correct? Correct? Hello? Do you agree? Kanchi?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. From the second image to the third image, what changes, Kanchi?
You add two squares.
Here and here, correct?
Yeah.
From the third image to the fourth image, what changes?
You add two squares.
Good. Now, do we add 2 squares randomly, Kanchi?
I don't get the last part.
Okay, yeah.
Like with the answer.
Yeah, but my question is, Kanchi, do we add these squares randomly? Do we just add them to random places?
No, you add them in order.
Yeah, and the way you go through the order is there's pretty much like different quadrants, right? So if I were to split the square into 4 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sections, right? We start in this section, right, Kanchi?
Oh, I get it now.
Do you get it now? So we go from this section to this section, from here to here, from here to here, and then from here, we should go back to this first square, right? And each time we're adding 2 squares. So when you go from here to here, where can we add two squares? We can add them here and here.
Okay.
All good?
I get it now. Thanks.
Melvin,
Okay, you're welcome.
Melvin, I missed the mock exam because I had something else going on.
Yeah.
Is there any way I can take it?
Yeah, I think someone else texted me about this as well. So if you guys missed the mock exam, you can get a copy of the mock exam and do it at home. But unfortunately, all of our classes next week are all going to be, basically, we're going to be marking and going through the mock exam. So, unfortunately, no, and I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
But you can get a copy of the mock exam. We'll pass that on to you. Okay. From A to D, what changes? So when you look at letters, right? Okay, so there's different things that could happen. There's obviously line of symmetry, maybe, right? Because it's pretty much like a shape. There could be actual, like it could be an actual alphabet. It go from A, B, C, D, like that. It could be the number of straight lines. So in this, let's just start with it actually being letters. From A to D, what's the distance? B, C, D, plus 3, correct? Oh, oops. Plus 3, right? Hello? Plus 3.
Yes.
From D to K, it is E, F, G, H, I,
Plus 10.
K. Is it plus 10?
Plus 7.
Plus 7.
Plus 7. And from K to H, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, so far that's 10, V, W, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D. Oh my gosh, I'm getting confused. So how many letters have we gone so far? From K, okay, from K it is H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. I'll just do a tally. That's just going to be easier. Just, by the way, this is really important that you don't mess up your count, because if you mess up your count, then you've done a lot of hard work and it just completely messed up. So, okay.
It's actually -3.
Oh, it could be -3. So the other way around. So how many letters are there in the alphabet?
I, J, K, -3.
How many letters are there in the alphabet?
26. 26.
-3. So it should be plus 23. But let's just double check just to be sure. I like to be safe, right? Okay. L, M, N, O, P. That's 5. P, Q, R, S, T, U. V, W, X, Y, Z. That's 5. A, B, C, D, E. That's 5. H, wait, A, B, oh my gosh. A, B, C, D, E. That's 5. What happens after E? F, is it?
F.
Yeah, F.
Yeah. F, I, G, H. Oh, plus 24. Plus 4. So plus 24 letters. A little bit out. Does anyone disagree with this? Does anyone not think it's plus 24?
Mate.
Who?
Navzish.
Why is that Navzish?
Answer wasn't.
Sorry?
Answer wasn't what you.
Sorry?
Answer was not what you got.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W.
It's 23.
C. Okay, so let's try. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Perfect, 23. We just missed that on one letter. So yeah, so that other method that I said earlier, 26 minus 3 plus 23, that makes sense. So from K to H plus 23. So from 3 to 7, it goes plus 4. From 7 to 23, what's that? Plus what? Hello?
Plus 16.
So plus 4 plus 16. What do you guys think is next?
16 times 4.
Sorry? It could be 16.
16.
It could be 16 times 4. What else could it be?
16 squared.
Plus 16.
16 squared.
Teens.
Sorry? Yes. Oh, no, it could be 16 square, or it could be plus 8. Then the other next one should be plus 12. Plus 12. And the next one could be another plus 12. So it could be plus 28.
Yeah.
And then 28 plus 23, that's 50 or 63, sorry, 61 letters, is it? Sorry. 23 plus 28 is 51 letters, right?
Yeah, 51.
Yep. And then 51 minus 26, because of the 26 letters, would be how much?
25.
5.
25 letters. So that's basically one letter behind H, and that is?
G.
Yeah, G, lowercase g. Now, that I think is the most logical way to solve it. Is it the easiest? Highly doubt it. Is there anyone here who think that they have an easier way to solve it?
Melvin.
Yeah.
What do you mean it's one behind H?
So I'll go through this again, step by step. Okay. That was a lot.
Wait, Melvin,
Yeah.
how does that work? It's like 3, then plus 7, then plus 23.
And then plus 51. Right. So I'll go through that again. If anyone has a simpler solution, let me know. Okay. So I'll go through that step by step again. But this way to solve it is logical, but it's not the easiest. So the first one we obviously noticed is the lettering of it. So this is lowercase, uppercase, lowercase, uppercase. What should be the next one? Lowercase. That's pretty straightforward, right? That's the easiest, that's the easiest thing to just deduce from it. Okay.
Melvin,
Yeah.
I think you could go from 3, 7. So it adds 20. So the number always ends in 3, then it ends with 7, then it ends with 3, then 7.
I wouldn't say that's a logical step, because the next one is not plus anything 7 that ends with 7. The next one's ending in, I think it's a plus 23, right? So it wouldn't make any sense. But I like that thinking. So from here, from A to D, we know it's a plus 3. Then D to K, it's a plus 7. And then K to H, it's plus 23. And then we don't know the difference, right? So we look at the difference between these two. 3 to 4, it's plus 4. 7 to 23 is plus 16. And then we look at the third difference between them two. And this is plus 12. So this one would be plus 12. So 16 plus 12 is?
28.
28.
And then 23 plus 28 is plus 50.
51.
51.
Do you guys understand this?
Yep.
Okay.
Kind of.
What step do you know?
Kind of. I don't get it when you go from the 4 to 16.
4 to 16. 4 plus, so 4. Let's see. 4 plus 12 is equal to 16.
Yeah.
16.
Oh, so that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the third difference?
So this is basically 2 patterns in one.
Yeah.
So it'll be one pattern is the letters. The next one would be 1, 2. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Oh, actually, it would. Yeah. I wouldn't call it 2 patterns in one. It's called So in maths, you'll learn about this. You'll learn about this in maths when you get to, I think it's linear maths. For example, when you learn how to draw lines, right? To figure out the relationship between lines, like the different points, you'll have to subtract the differences each time. When it comes to the second differences, I'm not sure if it's a straight line. It might be a curved line. I'm not fully sure. But this is the pattern. Now, do you see it makes sense, but it's just way too hard, like really hard, really time consuming, right? So the next one, plus 51, right? So H plus 51, you can either do A, B, C, D, blah, 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 51 times, right? Or you, like if you like use a bit of logic, we know that there's 26 letters in the alphabet. So 51 minus 26. And we know that it'll just come back to the beginning again. So 51 minus 26 is how much again, guys?
25.
Sorry? 25, right. So it could go either plus 25 or it could go minus 1. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So from why did you do the -1?
Yeah, because I'll show you, right? From
Okay.
K to H, someone here figured out it's plus 23, or it could be minus 3, because these two add up to 26. Do you understand?
Yep.
So if it's plus 25 in one way, it could be minus 1 the other way.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
True. Yeah.
And H minus 1 would be G. G. Do you understand? This is a really hard pattern, but it's the most logical one. It's just very time consuming. If we will try to look for easier patterns, if you find anything easier, I'll let you guys. I'll keep the working out there.
Melvin.
Yeah.
For the letters one, in gate, it shouldn't be like that time consuming, right?
No, it can be. 100% it can be. Except the only easier thing about GATE compared to this set of questioning is you'll have multiple choice. You know how usually in all our questions you have multiple choices? I really wanted you guys to just like, oh, oops, I forgot to erase my answer here. I really wanted you guys to think about I want you to focus on the problem solving aspect of it, like the process in your head, rather than just guessing your answers. Because a lot of you guys I've noticed is guessing. So this, by not giving you multiple choice answers, you're forced to just really think about how you solve it. Do you guys understand?
Yeah.
Okay, next questions. Here. Did anyone figure this one out?
Yeah.
Me.
Okay. Just put your hands up in the chat. Okay.
Melvin, I did it.
Just put your hand up. So, okay, Pavnes. Actually, Shri, you can tell me what's your pattern?
So firstly, 6 plus 2 equals 8. Then 1 plus 6 equals 7. So it goes on 8, 7, 8, 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the first set, like on the top piece of domino, 8 goes from 6 to 5 and 5 to 4. And then 7 goes 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 and so on.
Wait. So it goes 6 to 5 and then 1 to 2.
5 to 4. Yeah.
4. Oh, where's 5 to 4?
And then the bottom set, you have to add the other numbers.
Sorry, what?
That's equal.
What do you mean?
Melvin, I've got a different reasoning.
Yeah.
Me too.
Guys.
Easy way.
Guys, remember rule number 1 of our classes? Don't talk when other people are speaking, right? Shri was talking. So Shri, do you want to continue? So Shri, okay. I'm getting a bit lost here. So I understand so far. So you said the top, you said 6, then you said 5, and then you said this one. Oh, so this one you said it's 1 and this one's 2. What else did you say?
And then you have to find out the bottom number.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how you get the 5th answer.
Okay. How about this? take a look. I'll give you the starting clue. Take a look at this. 6, 6. 5, 5. Next one should be 4, 4. So this one should be at the top would be 1,
I've got a different way.
3, 4. Again, guys, I understand you got a different way, but you don't need to unmute yourself and talk while the people are talking. I don't appreciate that. Who has their name as Melvin Tom? Please change it. It's confusing. Okay. So that's another way. Naman, what was your way?
You could do like, you see how 2 is on the bottom on the first square and then it goes 1 is on the top? That could, like, if it keeps going like zigzag kind of like that, it would be -1 + 2 -1 and then another +2.
So next one should be another?
That would be
4. So it should be 4, 4. And then going with Sri Vishwak's pattern, it would still be 8, 7, 8, 7, and these two add up to 8.
Melvin,
Yes.
what happens if you got another pattern, but it's still like equally as easy?
That's completely fine. Oh, wait, but did you have a different answer?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay, what was your pattern then?
Mine was like, oh, so it's 5, and then you skip the 1, and then it goes to 4, and then you skip it, and then it goes to 4, and the same thing on the bottom.
Second
Oh
one.
yeah, it is the same answer. It is the same answer.
It's the same answer, then it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
I have a different way of doing it.
But do you have a different answer?
No, same answer.
Okay. What about you, Garrett? Same answer? Garrett? Navazish, do you want to tell us your pattern as well? Just so we have a different perspective on the question?
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. How does it work?
How I did it was because it's 6, then there's a 1, then there's a 5, and then there's a 2. I did 6 and 5, and then there was a 1 in the middle, which is the next thing was 2. So I did get the thing as 4, and I did get the 8, 7, 8, 7.
Yeah, so it'd be 6, and then next one should be 5, and then from 5, next one should be 4. Yeah, and then
That's the same pattern I got.
yeah.
And then from the 2, it's 2,
Yeah.
3, and then 4.
Yep, that makes sense as well. Yeah, that's completely fine. Everyone understand both ways, like the different ways of solving it. All of it makes sense. It all come with the same answer, so it doesn't matter which way you go with it. It's just like, you know, different ways of looking at the same elephant. Do you guys know that? Like, have you guys heard of that story?
No.
Oh, okay, so it's like it's like one of those like fables. Basically, these 5 blind men. They're like really smart, wise men, right? And they are blind, and they all touch an elephant, and they're all arguing with each other what they're touching. And it's pretty much the same thing, right? They're all touching an elephant, but it's just the whole moral of the story is that, you know, you guys might all have different perspectives, but there's a truth in what you see. But yeah, so same thing. You guys are all touching the elephant, just different ways. So it doesn't matter which way you go at it, as long as you get the same, like pretty much the same answer, or if it's logical, then it's fine. 2 people raise their hand. Let me see who they are. Yerk, Joy, and Navazish. Do you have any questions?
No.
All
Wait,
right.
what?
You guys just have your hands raised, so I was just asking if you have any questions. Okay. All right. Next question. This question here. Did anyone figure this out?
Which one?
This
I
next.
can't see the screen.
Okay, we have few people raise their hand. Josna, tell me. Josna, you there?
It's like adding each time. So the first one, it adds 4, and then it adds 3.
Yes. Good girl. So it goes across 1. Oops. It goes across 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. and then it goes 1, 2, 3 to here, and then it goes 1. Oh wait, sorry, it goes 1, 2 to here, and the next one should be, oh, why can't I rub it out? And the next one should be, it should be just like plus 1 more to here. Oh, this is so annoying. Why is it rubbing it out? The next one should be here. Next one should be here. And the other thing is, it's going plus 4. So the shape is going plus 4, plus 3, plus 2, then plus 1. But the other thing you should notice is the shape is going down in size each time. So 5-sided shape, 4-sided shape, 3-sided shape, 2-sided shape, and the next one should be 1-sided shape, circle. Any questions? Pav?
Melvin?
Yes, Mr. Pavanas.
I thought I got that. I guessed.
My man. Okay. Next.
Melvin?
Yes, sir. Or ma'am.
So it could be any shape that only has one side.
Yeah. What's another shape with one side?
Oval.
Well, there you go. I mean, here's a thought experiment, right? I'm in year 12. I did this subject called philosophy. Have you guys heard of philosophy?
Yes.
It's basically like
Yes. Yeah.
like, you know, you just sit, like act smart, where you just think about random things, right? But no, I'm joking. Philosophy is basically when you think about thinking, and like you think about just different problems which don't really like, I don't know. Anyway, basically one of the philosophical problems, right, is you guys all know this. Math is a great philosophical concept, but like you guys all know this shape, right? What's the shape?
Triangle.
The philosophical question was that how do people learn, right? And most people think that people can learn all about the world by just going into the world, right? You do experiments, right? So for example, if you want to figure out, I don't know, what's the speed of light, you'll go outside, you'll get a light beam, and then you like, I don't know, find the speed of light through that, maybe through experiments, right? If you want to figure out what's the rotation of the earth, you might get a telescope and do different experiments. But the question was, we know about the properties of a triangle. We know that all triangles add up to 180 degrees. You guys learned that in school, right?
Yep.
Yeah. You learned that 3 sides of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. And you also know that triangles have 3 sides. But here's the kicker. Nobody in the world has ever seen a triangle. This is not a triangle. These are tiny pixels all added up together. This is not a perfectly straight line, right? So how do we figure out it's equal to 180 degrees? And that's basically like the whole philosophical concept, where there's like things that exist that don't exist in this world, and that they're so perfect that they can't exist in the real world. And using your brain, you make them real, and they exist because you think about them. And circle is another shape like that. There's no way you can create a perfect circle, because mathematically, a circle is a side with infinite sides. But because it's infinite sides, it looks like it's only got one side. And since I'm just bringing it up because Josna made a really good observation, an oval, right? This is not a perfect circle. This could be an oval. So therefore, Josna, you're right. It could be an oval too.
Melvin?
Yeah.
Did it matter if you had to do a circle or whatnot?
It has to be a one-sided shape. So it doesn't matter what you draw as long as it's a one-sided shape.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you can draw a line. You can just draw a straight line.
Wait, Melvin?
Yep.
What? I didn't get that part that like to the semicircle.
Oh yeah.
And then you go like +1.
Oh, so it goes from here to here.
Yeah.
Why? Why didn't I get it?
Oh, never mind, I got it.
Melvin.
Could you just mute yourself, please? Thank you. Yeah.
Melvin.
Yes.
Isn't it supposed to be subtract 4, subtract 3, subtract 2, and subtract 1?
Yeah. Where am I wrong?
No, you put +4, +3, +2, +1.
Yes, my friend. But did you pay attention? The +4, +3, +2 is the movement of the shape. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 1. All right. Next question. Talk about clocks. What do you guys think? What's the pattern?
I think the pattern is it's +2.
Which
Then
one, sir?
I think on the clock thing, like the clock pins or whatever.
Yeah.
It goes like +2 because the corner counts as it's like an 8-sided map.
Perfect. So let's start with that, right? So because when we look at this, right, it exists in this corner, so it could go to this corner. It exists in this line, so it could go here, and it must go here as well. If it goes here, it could go here. And we don't have any evidence for a top line, so it could be a 6-sided map, Naman. Interesting.
Okay.
So let's try with a 6-sided map. So we'll just go with the evidence we have. Now that's the biggest thing. You just start with the information you have. You don't make anything up. So let's just start with that.
Okay.
With the
So I
information we
think
have.
it goes.
And one sec, Naman. So it's a 6-sided map that looks like this. Right? Now, Naman, start with the long hand.
The long hand goes from top right to like just far right.
2.
And then it will go to like, it goes +3.
Is this what the map looks like, Naman? Would you agree with me? For the top line?
I think it is roughly the same.
Yeah, so this is what the map looks like, right?
Yes.
So from 1 to 2, Naman, what's the movement?
So from one picture, it goes from top right to just far right, which is +1.
Yeah, +1. And then from 2 to 3, it goes?
+3.
And then 3 to 4 goes?
Plus another 3.
What will be next then?
+1 perhaps, or it could just be another +3.
I would disagree with another +3 because it wouldn't make much sense. +1 seems the most logical one, right? Now let's just go with that, and then let's see what the shorthand looks like. So I'm going to use a different color for the shorthand. Again, we'll go with the same map. So it starts off here, Naman, right? 1, and 2,
Okay.
and then 3, 4. So from 1 to 2, what is it, Naman? Plus?
Wait, that's not what it goes from 1 and then 2 goes on the far right. Or
Sorry?
like, wait.
No, the shorthand.
The shorthand is a bit. I think the shorthand's 8-sided map.
Why?
Because like, look, it's the 6 sides are similar to the right hand, right?
Yeah.
But then it also has in the second picture and the third picture, it's pointing very roughly to a corner.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But then also it could be a 6-sided, it could be 8-sided. I'm not sure.
Maybe I think it just probably is a formatting thing, right? But would you agree that it's pretty much like this? It's like in this corner, then down, and then this corner like that?
Yeah.
So from 1 to 2, what's the movement?
So from 1 to 2, it is +0.
2 to 3?
2 to 3 is +2.
And then 3 to 4?
+1.
Okay. Now, with these two things, does the 6-sided map make much sense? Not really, does it?
No, it doesn't.
So let's try it as an 8-sided map. Okay?
Hold it.
Hold it?
Cold it.
Melvin,
obviously.
isn't this a mirror image thing?
For the first pattern, yeah, it is. Now, Naman, I know you called it right, but what I'm saying is I want to focus on the process rather than just jumping to the answer. So we go through step by step. So we try the 6-sided map, doesn't work. So let's try the 8-sided map. So I'm going to keep that So let's draw the 8-sided map. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it starts off where I'm in here. 1.
Wait, are we doing the longhand or the shorthand?
Longhand, longhand.
Yeah.
3, and then 4 goes to here, right?
Yes.
All good?
Yeah.
All right, so from 1 to 2 it is?
So from 1 to 2, it goes +1.
And then 2 to 3?
It goes +4.
And then 4 to 5? Sorry, 3 to 4?
And then it goes +7.
4 to 7. And then what's next?
+10.
3 plus 3 plus 3, and then plus 10. So it should go all the way around by 8 and then plus 2. So it should be there, right?
Yes.
So the long hand should be facing up like that. Now let's talk about the short hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the short hand, Naman, where does it start? Here,
So
1.
shorthand, yeah, top right. And
Yeah.
then it will go. Is that a formatting error? Because it looks like it's still in the top right. And then it goes bottom right.
3.
And then it will go +7.
Plus 7.
Wait, am I missing something? So it goes there and then. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, it goes +2. So it goes +0, +2, and plus another 2.
Plus 0, plus 2, plus 2. The next one could be plus 0. Now, personally, I'm not really happy with this. Now, here's the. I think this could be okay. And the final answer, you could just have it looking like this. But let's take a look at the times itself. What time would this first thing look like?
It would be 1 o'clock.
Hello? Anyone?
1 o'clock.
105.
105. Right.
105.
Oh, sorry.
Right. This one would be
2:15.
2:15. Next one would be
445.
4:45.
5. And this one would be
7,
7:15.
8.
15.
8:15. Yeah. Okay. What's the difference? The hours are multiplying by 2. Oh, oops. The hours are multiplying by 2 each time. And then the minutes is plus 10, plus
30.
30. And the next one should be plus
30 again.
Yep. And the next one could be possibly. Oh, is there a better pattern? Oh no, guys, I think it's multiplying by 3. 5 times 3, 15. 15 times 3 is 45. 45 times 3
Yeah,
is
it's multiplying by 3. It's multiplying by 3.
45 times 3 is.
It's multiplying by 3.
But then you can't double 8 because it only goes up to 12. So will we just use the final digit?
No. I'll explain. So for 43 times, what do you call it? 3 times 4 is 12. And then 125 minus 260s. What are you left with? 15. Okay, and then that's why you get 15 here. Now I'll explain what happens next. So we're multiplying by 3 each time for the long hand and short hand. Let me rub everything out. Actually, before I move on, I just want to explain one thing. So in this question, we started off with just seeing if it's a different movement thing, right? Imagine if it's just the lines moving in a pattern. Was it a really nice pattern? No. So you look at it from a different perspective. When looking from a different perspective, from perspective of time, it starts to make a little bit more sense. Now, here's what we come up with so far. The long hand, 1 hour, 2, 4, 8. It's multiplying by 2. Now,
wait, Melvin, quick question. Would you use this with a 12-sided map? If you're doing the time approach.
Yeah, you can. But then the movement, the logical might not make much sense. Like, because this is doubling, it would, maybe it might, I don't know. I haven't tried it. Now 8 times 2, what is it? 8.
16.
16.
Now what's 16 o'clock?
4
4
o'clock.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Or
So the shorthand should be pointing here. The long hand multiplying by 3 each time. 15 times 3 is
45.
45. So the answer should look like that. And that's much, like that logic seems way better than the movement one, in my opinion.
Melvin.
Who's confused?
Me.
Okay. Which step are you confused? The hour one makes so much sense, right? There's no confusion about the hours, correct?
No.
Yeah. Is there anyone who's confused about the hour hand?
No.
Okay.
No.
The minutes. I'll understand why you guys are confused. Now,
Wait,
after
Melvin.
the slide, one sec, yeah.
Is this a second like perspective you're doing?
Yeah. The first one was the lines moving randomly, and now it's just time. So the first one was 5, then it was 15. So we multiplied by 3. And then 15 multiplied by 3 is 45. 45 multiplied by 3 is 35? Yeah, 135. 35. Now, 135, if you were to bring that to like, since that's in minutes, right? When you simplify, what would it look like? It would be 2 hours.
2 hours, 15 minutes.
2 hours, 15.
So that's why we end up with 15 minutes. Do you see that here? We end at 15 minutes.
Yes.
Right. And then 15, again, when you multiply by 3, you get 45. So that's what the final answer should be, 1645. You guys understand?
Wait, Melvin, is there a quicker approach to this? Because obviously we've used quite a lot of time on this question.
100%. There's no quicker way. You just figure it out step by step, logically.
But I had a different way and I did mirror in the gym.
So where's the mirroring?
You know how there's the two of those things, right? Which are mirroring.
So these two are mirroring, but how does these two mirror? And
No,
how does
I
these
wasn't.
mirror?
What I was doing is like I moved that to like the other side. So
Yeah.
it's like that same thing, but then like on the other half, it's different.
On what half, sorry? Okay, so now Aziz, that's a bit confusing. If you can send me a clear explanation, I'll send it to them. I'll make a video or something and explain to the kids. And if I like that, way. But does everyone understand this way of solving it?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
guys, my main goal with these questions, right? My main goal.
Yep.
Can you guys please mute yourselves? Thank you. Come on. Okay. My main goal with these questions is not really for you to focus on the answers. The main goal is to focus on the process, right? How you do it step by step to figure out the answers. Okay. Now, obviously these are hard questions, and especially because you don't have multiple choice, it's very hard to figure it out. But it's all about the process, step by step, trying to figure out, like, using your brain, right?
Wait, in the mock exam, did you give 40 minutes or 20 minutes?
25.
Okay, so it was like a normal gate exam.
Yes, pretty much. Now, it's much harder than a normal gate exam because you don't have multiple choice, and these questions are way harder than the gate test questions. Like looking at sample questions, it's way harder. The main reason, again, I want you to focus on the process, the ability, like, the way your brain should be thinking about questions, right? You do everything logically, right? You have to have a logical reason for your answer, sorry. As we're running out of time, I'm going to quickly speed by with the answers, okay? This question, it was white, black, white, black. Next one should be a white circle on the outside. Don't really care about that. Doesn't really matter. Obviously, if you didn't draw a perfect, black, line, you will not lose a mark for that. What we're caring more about is the inside. How does it look on the inside? Line straight up. Then the line moves 45 degrees. Then it should move one more 45 degrees. Oh, by the way, it adds a line here. And this should go one more 45 degrees and down one as well. So it should look like this. Any questions?
No.
Pretty straightforward.
No.
This one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, 12. Plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, 18. Plus 4, plus 4, plus 4, 24. Now here's the kicker. Here's the annoying one. Did anyone figure out the middle letter one?
I think so.
Okay.
I did.
No, I didn't.
I didn't.
Hand up, please. Pav?
Yeah, I did this as well.
I did it, but I forgot.
Okay. iPhone? Vishwak?
A.
Nope. I mean, well, what's the reasoning?
I just guessed.
Okay. No, so you didn't figure it out. Don't do that. Don't
I
say.
think I have it. I'm not quite sure.
Tell me, Alphonse.
So on my paper, so A to D is +3.
This is T. Not A.
No, sorry.
Okay, to save time, I'll
Wait,
tell you.
Melvin, can you give us a minute so we can work it out for real?
Oh, sorry, Naman. I have to quickly go through it.
Okay.
So T to D, so T has 2 straight lines, 1 straight line, 3 straight line, 2 straight line, 2 minus 1 plus 2 minus 1 plus 2. 4 straight lines. What has 4 straight lines?
And
N.
wait, if we did either one, W or M, would it both count?
Completely fine. Guys, again, it's all about the process, right? Whether you're thinking logically. So it doesn't matter what you come up with, whether you come with W or M, it's fine, as long as you're
Is there an
foresight.
alphabetical
Melvin.
Yeah.
order alternative to this?
I didn't check, Naman. There might be, who knows? Yes,
Melvin.
Naman?
I did a different way, but I got the same answer.
Tell me.
So it wasn't straight lines, it was just any lines. So T has 2 lines, D
Yeah.
has 2 lines,
Yeah.
then N and X have 3 lines.
Yeah.
So the next one,
Two.
next
X
letter
doesn't
would
have
have
3
4
lines.
lines.
Perfect. That's fine as well.
Wait, X doesn't have 3 lines.
Oh, it doesn't. Yeah. Snoopy.
Melvin,
Yeah.
what happens if you did the question, but then you forgot about the middle letter, and then you didn't do the middle letter, but you got everything else the same?
You won't get a mark. Okay.
Hey, Melvin, I might have found an alternative to that.
Yeah.
Who marked this?
I might have, but I didn't get to finish the pattern. Yes, it seems. Yeah, it's +10 for every letter. T to D, if you add +10, it will go to D. D plus 10 equals N, and then like N plus 10 is X.
What
So
comes
then X plus 10.
What comes next?
X plus 10, it would be 1, 2. H. It isn't the same, but there's still the pattern marks.
Yeah, that makes sense. So if you put H,
Melvin, that's what I had when I was saying the +3 +7 one.
yeah, so that logic makes sense. So if you put H, completely fine with it as well. Again, as I told you, it's all about the process, whether you're thinking logically. If you thought logically like that and you gave a H, you get a mark. Any questions? Now,
Who's gonna be marking this?
what do you mean who's going to be marking it, Navazish?
Like, Jenny told us that on the mock test today when we did it, she said that we would be marking it by ourselves.
Yeah.
So
It
is
will
that
what
true?
happens in class when you come, right? We will have a set answer key where we have a set like pretty much like the set answers that we have. So far you guys have seen the set answers here on the left side. and then you'll mark it. And then let's just say you want to argue for marks. Let's just say, for example, our set answer was W or M. But let's just say Naman and Alphonse says, oh, well, Melvin, this logical pattern makes sense, and H is correct as well. If you argue for it, you'll get the mark like that. Now, I'm going to end the lesson there. We've gone through this left-hand side. We'll go through the right-hand side hopefully next week. If not, I'll still make a video about it, explaining it. Next week in class, you'll go through maths and reading comprehension. Reading comprehension was kind of straightforward. Most of the time, you'll be focusing on maths. The other thing I want to talk to you guys about was writing, right? I think Jenny will give you a detailed explanation about writing as well. I'm going to talk about it.
Wait, Melvin, what was the writing prompt for the mock exam?
I can't tell you that, Melvin. I mean, you can see it when you class. So,
Okay.
Actually, I'll just say it. The writing prompt was this. Now, here's a few things I want you to understand. One, it says, focus on the quote, not the image. If anyone here focused on the image, talking about Kung Fu Panda, you got a 0. We finished marking all the Saturday students' writing yesterday. So far, I think 3 kids wrote about Kung Fu Panda. There's 1 kid wrote about Po the Panda, and they forgot about the turtle's name, so they called him Bill or something. Po and Bill. Now, here's the thing. The student wrote a whole story based on Kung Fu Panda and this line. They didn't write out anything about this. They talked about this line here. They wrote a story saying that Po was talking to Bill the turtle, and
Sick story, you know.
And I don't know who. I'm not gonna say who.
It's a good story.
And then Po, he reads a dragon scroll or something and comes to the realization that you should focus on the quote, not the image.
This is less of a story, but more funny.
Yeah. Now that student unfortunately will get a 0.
Wait, Melvin.
Yes.
Wait, what?
If you wrote about Kung Fu Panda, but you use a quote in the text, will you still get marks?
Okay. So it'll really depend, right? We really, really don't want you to focus on the image. That's why we said focus on the quote, not the image, right? If you write a pretty good story about Kung Fu Panda, like with Kung Fu Panda characters, let's say, right? That's fine. Like I think I'll make a message to it because I think it might be way too unfair because we did say focus on the quote, not ignore the image. So yeah, sure.
Okay.
It depends.
Wait, Melvin,
will
why
get
would a student get marked 0
But
because of a story?
Last year, we had students who wrote their whole story based on the plot of Kung Fu Panda. Like the whole story was, there was a panda named Po who wanted to be a martial artist or whatever, and then like the whole story is just Kung Fu Panda copied pasted, right? You're gonna get a 0 for that. Now the reason, sorry, Naman, your question was why did the student get the 0 marks? The reason he got a 0 marks was because he focused on this line here. His whole story was based on focusing on the quote, not the image.
Wait, but what happens if she didn't know there was a person focused on the yesterday's history thing, and they accidentally was focused on that
It
line?
literally says here. That's their fault. They should read instructions.
And were we supposed to write the quote in our writing piece? Were we supposed to include it?
I think it's kind of part of it. It would definitely be important aspect of it.
Wait,
Now,
so Mel, how would you write a story? Wait, what would you have written about this?
I'll get to it. I'll get to that. Now, let me.
Melvin,
One second.
one
guys.
quick question is that
One second. I'm answering Naman's question. You can ask me after that, okay? Sorry. Guys, again, remember, don't speak when other people are speaking, right? So one person at a time. So Naman, I'll answer your question about what I'll write about it, but a few things I want to talk to you guys about that before. Right. First thing is, based on the Saturday students, the average writing mark is 10 out of 30. A lot of you did really, really bad. Really, really bad. Now, here's a few issues. Here's one thing that me and Jenny noticed. Most weeks, Jenny and I collect your writing and try to give you feedback. I'm pretty sure Maddie and Henry does the same thing. Now, not everyone brings in their writing. Not everyone does it. And it's very clear because when you do the mock exam, we know that you're not putting any practice in, right? A lot of you are not following the rules, right? About being realistic, having a moral. Pretty much most students, they did bad because they didn't have a moral. Next thing is structure, right? You need to have a structure. You need to have a beginning, middle, end. But more specifically, you need a problem for your characters. You need a rising action. You need a falling action. You need a climax and a resolution. You need all those different things. If you don't have those, you'll get low marks. Most of you did pretty well in the punctuation, grammar, and spelling sort of section. So that's not a big issue, right? Again, it's not great. You didn't do amazing, but it's not too bad. But, oh, 1 second. But overall, it was a poorly done section, right? You can do so much better in writing. Now, if you got a low mark in writing, don't...
So nobody got higher than 10?
No, please don't interrupt while I'm speaking, sorry. So, it's a poorly done section, but you can always improve. And I know you will improve. All you need to do is make sure you apply the concepts that we teach you. You apply the rules of creativity. You apply the narrative structure if you write a story. And you avoid careless mistakes. Now, here's the other thing. The question, someone I think just said, I don't know who it was, but someone just said the highest mark was 10. No. One student did really well. There are some students who did really well. One student, the highest mark we got so far was 20 out of 30. I will post this student's writing on the WhatsApp group, and I'll put it on our website as well so you can read it to see what quality we're looking for, right? So it's not that we're marking you like extremely harshly because we don't like you or anything. It's just that there are certain things we look for. If you don't have those concepts, we won't be able to give you the marks. So that's one thing. Now, back to Naman's question. What would I write about this? Well, yesterday's a history, tomorrow's a mystery, but today's a gift, and that's why it's called the present. I could write a story about a dad who's so caught up about working that he doesn't enjoy his life, right? Every day he's busy about his business and like his, company and like his boss and his employees and all those sort of things, right? And he misses out on all the beautiful things in his life, right? He doesn't see his kids grow up. He doesn't get to spend time with his wife and his kids. He doesn't have any friends. He's so sad, right? And at the end of his life, he sits down on his porch and he thinks to himself and he's like, oh my gosh, I lived a whole life. I made a lot of money, but I didn't actually have a life. And then that's when he realizes everything that happened yesterday is all history. Who cares about it anymore? And what happens tomorrow, whether he's going to live or not, who knows? It's a mystery. But right now, sitting on his porch with a cup of iced tea and his little dog, it's a gift. He's able to enjoy the blessings that he has, right? And he wishes that he had learned this lesson while he was much younger, so he would have actually lived his life rather than just, speeding through it. Do you understand? That story is realistic, pretty much a lot of like movies based off that, and a lot of stories.
Wait, Melvin, would you approve of a story like, if I was doing this, I would write about a student, how last test he failed badly, and this term it's a holiday so he can practice for the test that's coming up, but he doesn't want to, but his parents tell him that the time he has right now is a gift because he gets to practice for the test.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then like tomorrow's a mystery on how he will do. Would you say that's a good story or a bad one?
Yeah, that's completely fine. I love the message in it. It depends on how you write it out. But that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
Wait,
now, yeah.
I was gonna ask this question. You said that you needed like an introduction and stuff like that. But what happens if you and like a climax, rising action, stuff like that? But what happens if you write a persuasive text?
Oh yeah, so you need your introductory paragraph introducing the topic. Then you need your 3 body paragraphs explaining, reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, and then you need your conclusion. I'm pretty sure Jenny marked your thing. I think I read it. she left some feedback. You can read it when you get it. I think you did pretty well for the structure, but the other sections, I'm not sure. Anyways, Namazi, what was your question?
My question was that, what if you had like an example of Kung Fu Panda?
Yeah, again, it's just a case by case thing. It's not great, but like it really depends on your story. So
wait, what do you mean by example from Kung Fu Panda?
Oh, guys, let's not discuss that. But
Melvin,
yeah.
Can you use a calculator in the actual gate exam?
Nope. The reason we said use calculator out was because some of the math questions were really tough, but it doesn't matter because most kids didn't have a calculator. So I think there's a few questions that you need a calculator for. That was really hard. So that was fine. Don't worry too much about it. Don't worry too much about that section.
Melvin, where did you get the quote from?
The quote from, I think, the internet. I just searched up random quote. Oh, I'm pretty sure when I made this, I finished watching Kung Fu Panda 2 again because I love them. I love Kung Fu Panda. Such a good.
Well, the quote, half of it is from a song.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's next week. Make sure you bring your notebook. It's really important because, by the way, there's classes next week. That's the first thing. There's classes next week. Make sure you bring your notebook and stuff because we'll go through all the questions and we'll mark everything. We'll have one more Zoom class before the holidays. And then, yeah, you guys will have your fun holidays for 2 weeks. Just a heads up, if you guys are planning to come back to classes next term, I think by today, all the Saturday classes are booked out. So I think we only have Monday left. So just again, I think I say this every term. Basically, it's a first come, first serve basis. So usually in the past, we would open up new classes. But because Jenny, me, myself, and Manny and Henry were all like in uni and we're near, like I'm like in my 3rd year, it's really hard for us to manage everything. So we want to keep the numbers low. So we only want a few kids, but with the few kids we have, we want to, really, really focus on you guys and help you guys the best way we can, right? So because of that, we have reduced, we've cut down the Saturday class, like the middle one, Saturday 12 to 2. So yeah, that's just another thing just to keep in mind.
Wait, Melvin.
Yeah.
Do we have to wear masks like when we go?
I think only the tutors will need to wear the mask. I'm pretty sure it's like if you're below 12 years old, you don't need to wear a mask in public.
Because me and the other 12 to 2 classes are all above 12.
Yeah, so you guys can wear your mask.
Melvin, I have one more question.
So one person at a time?
Is this going to are you going to be uploading this to YouTube?
Yep, I'll be uploading. So after this lesson, I think I'll just take a bit of a break. I have a big headache right now. I think I'm just dehydrated. I need some water. But after I take a nap or something like that, I think I'll upload it on YouTube. Yeah, should be available by tomorrow.
Melvin.
Yeah.
Bye.
Melvin.
Yeah.
What would you how much would you give out of 30 for your idea?
My idea? Obviously 30 out of 30. No,
without being biased, what would you give it?
I'm joking. It really depends. Okay, honestly, I can't tell that, right? It's because
Creativity-wise,
I think it's good, but it's not perfect. I wouldn't say it's like a 30 out of 30 mark, right? Like, sorry, 10 out of 10 for creativity. I think it could be improved because it's so cliche. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, great. Dad who works all the time and forgets about life. Oh my gosh, that's pretty much like every other Dharman video, right? It's so cringe and cliche. But it's not original. Like, so I wouldn't give myself a 10 out of 10, but I would pretty much give myself a pretty good mark for that. I think the main things that I can't give myself a mark on that thing is because I haven't written it out. So I don't know what mark I'll give for the structure and the punctuation, grammar, things like that.
Melvin.
Yep.
When will you post the person's writing who got the most mark?
Oh, next week.
Okay.
Melvin.
No, for the idea I just threw at you. What would you rate that out of 10?
Your one?
Yeah, the one I just told you quickly. about the student and how he doesn't want to study because he knows he's going to fail, but he could.
7.57.
5-7. Okay.
Melvin,
Yep.
will we have some of the same questions next time for the booklet?
None. Unless accidentally I put a question in, but no, there shouldn't be. I'll be double checking it and like everything. I'm making new questions as well. So next term you will get. So I'm not sure if you guys know about how we work, but for example, Naman was one of my first students. So Naman, compared to the booklets you got, have you noticed how like each booklet, like this year when you came back, it's such different questions?
Yes.
Yeah, so basically each term, at the end of each year, we talk to the students who just finished the GATE test and we get information from them about how the test was, and we try to improve the questions each year. So, obviously these questions are improved. So next term's booklet, we haven't finalized it yet because we're making new questions based off the feedback we got from last year's GATE students and the sample test. So each term, we make it better and better and better. And that's why you guys get a lot of typos, because we're making new questions each time. And obviously when you make, a whole set of new questions, so like if you look at our other booklet, right, the term for booklet, there's like, I think 30 pages or 40 pages. Like it's likely that things pop up like that. But the main reason is if I had to choose between typos or, like improvement, like innovation, I think I would choose innovation. Innovation over typos.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Peace out.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.